Hey everyone, what is going on? So we have more battles for you today that I did, and you want an answer to Sableye. I know you do. We have SWELLOW on the team. So SWELLOW is interesting, right? Because it does double resist the Shadow Claw attacks. And it can take a foul play. It doesn't resist it, but it can take it. It can't take a return though, because it is really frail. I had this SWELLOW built for a long time. I think I built it during one of the early Sylph Cups. I was just using anything, just having a good time when PvP first came out. That's why I have this SWELLOW. But either way, I decided, you know, let's go ahead and give it a try. Someone in the comments actually recommended it, and I decided to go ahead and use it. And yeah, I mean, we have a 4-1 here. My opponent did a great job of catching, but I can bring in my SWELLOW. So the thing is, I'm going to go ahead and throw immediately before my opponent gets to a foul play. I just want to KO this, and it is going to be able to KO, so SWELLOW is going to be able to pick up that knockout. Very nice. Yeah, it was just a fun Pokemon to use. I did, as I mentioned, I had a 4-1, which I think could have been a 5-0, and you'll see in this first game why. But either way, just going to let the SWELLOW go. It did its job. It took out the Sableye, which is what the SWELLOW is meant to do for the most part, right? Obviously, it does well. Could do well against like the fighting types as well, like Medicham. This is why I accidentally closed the game. So my opponent got a lot of lock-ons in, and now they have more energy than I do. So that's really unfortunate for me. But it's my fault, right? Nothing you can do about it. So I'm going to be able to go for the Zap Cannon right now. Try to debuff it. Not able to debuff it. I'm going to let this attack go through. Yeah, I'm definitely in trouble now. Yeah, as I said, I think I could have won this one if I didn't exit out like that. But at the end of the day, it happened. It actually happens twice in this video. And I do win that other game. But, you know, it's my fault. It happens. It's my fault, right? I did it. So my opponent's going to go ahead and shield that. I would have loved to farm down. Of course, my opponent will be able to get to an attack. It's going to be a Moonblast that's easily going to KO. What I need to do now is I need to lock on down, but I'm not going to be able to. So I go for the attack. I knew I wouldn't be able to. Look how low I am, and my opponent will be able to get to an attack. I'm like, maybe if they no, they get me with the lock-ons. Good game, well played. Let's go ahead and move it to the next one. Sharpedo, ooh, really spicy, but really strong as well. So yeah, I mean, we're taking a lot from waterfall damage. Imagine how much we would be taking from the shadow variant. I'm gonna go ahead and throw the focus blast. Either attack will KO. It's super effective. That's a really squishy Pokemon, and my opponent actually just lets it go. So that's amazing for me. Out comes Jirachi. So this is a really good matchup for the Registeel. I'm gonna go ahead and debuff that Jirachi. We resist Solar Moon. We resist Psychic. We resist Doom Desire. So I'm not really worried. I'm going for that debuff. Trying to get to another attack right now. My opponent gonna go ahead and throw an attack, but I know that Registeel could easily take it. No need to shield. It's gonna be a Doom Desire. I'm gonna go ahead and throw the Focus Blast. I could have, you know what? I could have thrown the Zap Cannon. I'm just gonna go ahead and throw the Focus Blast, picking up that second shield. Very nice. I won't be able to make it to another one because my opponent will be able to get off an attack, and then I think I survived this one, but then they could confusion me down. But that's okay. Registeel took out the Sharpedo and took 2 shields, plus we have a Sableye. Doom Desire, yes, it's neutral, decent damage, right, but I'm going to be able to take it. And I'm just going to commit to the farm down. I could have thrown there so I didn't have to invest a shield, but now, at this point, I decided to just commit to the farm down. And now in comes a Gardevoir. It's actually the second Gardevoir I've battled, but we don't have to worry about Gardevoir anymore. Doing so much damage, I bring in SWELLOW. SWELLOW is going to be able to farm down, and I think I just go up for the Brave Bird. I do, and this is going to be enough to KO. And that is going to be a great game. Really spicy with that Jirachi, right, as well as that, the Pokemon in the lead. What was it? Sharpedo. Why couldn't I think of it? Good game. Moving on, I'll tell you in the lead, my opponent switches into SWELLOW. Or my opponent switches in Sableye. Out comes SWELLOW. By the way, you could also use Light Noon. Light Noon is another normal type that might actually, you know what, probably is better than SWELLOW. But either way, I might try out Light Noon. We'll see. It has Shadow Claw. It's a normal type. I'm going to shield that. It is a foul play. Unfortunately, I could have taken it, as I said. But in comes this Altaria. I'm going to go ahead and charge up, throw in the Brave Bird. Now this, I believe, is a mistake. Because if I threw the Sky... Well, maybe. Because if I threw the Sky Attack, I would have been able to make it to a Brave Bird. But now I'm not... Since I threw the Brave Bird first, I can't make it to a Sky Attack. However, if I threw the Sky Attack first, maybe my opponent would have thrown their attack. Because I think they would have gotten to a sky attack into my Swellow, and I wouldn't have gotten off the Brave Bird. What do you all think? I don't know, but either way, we still did a lot of damage to it. I mean, it doesn't really matter. This is kind of like a hard counter towards my opponent. We have Sableye on this Metacham right now. This is looking really good for us. So, I mean, at the end of the day, we just hard counted my opponent. So, regardless, it doesn't matter. I'm going to be able to throw this Foul Play into the Metacham. And my opponent is going to go ahead and commit that shield. Very nice. I'm just going to go ahead and let this go. A Focus Blast will be enough to KO the Metacham. Could have shielded this one. Actually doesn't KO, which actually is a little bit unfortunate, but that's okay. I'm going to bring in the Registeel. Trying to get to a Focus Blast. I'm going to go ahead and shield this one because I figure this one will do more damage. And it would have because it's a Dynamic Punch. Oh my gosh, it's a good thing I shielded that. I was not expecting Dynamic Punch, but it's a good thing I shielded that. So now I could just take out this Altaria, and that is going to be a good game. Very well played to my opponent. But yeah, that Dynamic Punch, a little bit scary there, but I was not expecting it. But I was like, well, you know what? It's probably going to do more than Altaria's damage if it's a Psychic. But either way, picking up a great lead. Pelipper does have play here if it wants to commit both shields. It could possibly win switch, but still, I'm totally fine with that. I'm going to take this Weather Ball attack. No problem. Weather Ball's adding up. I'm going to go ahead and throw the Zap Cannon. This easily one-shots, as you all know. We've seen it in the Open Great League, right? We know this one-shots. So my opponent will shield and no debuff, which is unfortunate for me. Yeah, I throw another Zap Cannon once I get to it, and I also don't get another debuff. It's a little bit unfortunate, missing both times, but that's the way the game works sometimes, right? So I'm going to go ahead and throw this Zap Cannon. My opponent will commit the shield, and as I said, no debuff there. I'm just going to go ahead and let this go. I figure I could probably get to... yeah. Oh, my opponent actually throws another attack, so I'll just let the Registeel go. So yeah, I could bring in my Sableye and get to an attack with Sableye and KO this Pelipper. I am up 2 shields. My opponent is throwing an attack. I lost count, so I'm going to go ahead and shield. I don't want to be hit with a Hurricane. It's going to be a Weather Ball. Not sure if my opponent had it. I lost count, as I said. In comes Registeel. Totally fine by me. I'm certainly not bringing in SWELLOW right now. Right, so I'm going to go ahead and go for this attack. I'm going to go ahead and go for this next Foul Play right now. And I think I could shield and farm down. I'm going to go for the farm down right now. My opponent is going to be able to get off his Zap Cannon, so I'm going to go ahead and shield it. And I do want to farm down, as I said. My opponent gets the debuff, which is unfortunate, but at the end of the day, that does give us a little bit more farm. In comes Sableye. I'm going to switch out right now to save my... well, to reset the debuff, I should say. I can't make it to a Brave Bird. If I went for the Brave Bird, they would have made it to a return. So I just throw the Sky Attack just to get off the damage. And as you'll see, we will get KO'd from a return. But the good thing is we can Shadow Claw down, right? So return will KO. And I can Shadow Claw down. My opponent is going to go ahead and switch into the Pelipper. So I'm going to go ahead and immediately throw this attack. That will KO, and I have another Foul Play, so I can just KO the Sableye. And that is going to be a great game, very well played to my opponent. We have another game, right? That was only, I believe we have one more game. I believe that was only 4. Yeah, we definitely have one more game. So Registeel into Swallow. Yeah, this is a spicy one. Now, I knew Swallow had a poison attack. I knew it had Ice Beam as well, though I forgot about it as I was battling. So yeah, Swallow is coming out, or... Swallow is using the Ice Beam. That's when I realized, oh yeah, it has Ice Beam. But I'm totally fine with that because we resist the Ice Beam. My opponent is staying in. Super spicy Pokemon. Really cool to see as well. I'm going to get that attack debuff. You'll love to see it. My opponent going to go ahead and switch. I'm going to go ahead and throw this Focus Blast. Expecting the shield right now. Let's see if my opponent decides to shield. My opponent does shield. So I'm going to bring in Sableye. My opponent going to go ahead and get off an attack. I do go ahead and shield this one up. It's going to be a Hydro Cannon. And I miscounted here. I thought they needed one more to get to another Hydro Cannon. Unfortunately, not the case. So because of that, I'm going to go ahead and shield and get off this Foul Play. So this Foul Play is going to connect, and now I can just farm down. Very nice. My opponent still has a shield, but that's okay. Swallow is coming in. It's going to be able to throw an attack right now. Now, my opponent actually throws a Sludge Bomb. Sludge Bomb is resisted. You do want to throw the Ice Beam. But that is okay. I would have survived an Ice Beam anyway. I'm going to be able to overfarm and go for this attack, and we'll see what's in the back. Oh yeah, it's a Registeel, I remember. Registeel. When I saw the Registeel, like, uh-oh, Swallow does not want to see this Registeel at all. Or does it? I'm going to be able to land a foul play, and I'm going to try and get to another one. I do barely get to another one. Will my opponent commit the shield, or will they let this one go? It will not be enough to KO. My opponent does shield. And that was a CMP, which is beautiful. So this is going to KO. Focus Blast will be enough to knock out. That's totally fine. I bring in this Registeel right now. Yeah, I make an attempted catch, and then I accidentally close out my game again. I don't know why. But either way, I survive a Focus Blast. And the problem here... I wish I didn't survive that, because the problem here, if they were able to lock on me down, they would have had another attack to KO my Registeel. But I get to the Brave Bird, that will KO the Registeel, and we'll take that game. And that is going to be a great game, very well played to all my opponents. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, everyone. I'll see you in the next one. Have a good day. Bye.